Hey everybody, Jim with FAB back for another install video this morning. Today we're going to do our A-pillar combination mirror and cube light bracket install. This is the pair of brackets you get and they install here on the factory A-pillar. So the first thing you want to do when you go to install these brackets is you got to pull these two factory cage bolts out. But you want to be careful. If you've never messed with these before, there's a recess on the back side of this factory cage bung down in here, and the nut is just slid in there. So you pull this bolt out, the nuts will drop down into the fender well. And trust me when I tell you, if they go in there, you're probably never going to see them again. So what I've found works the best, like take an old shop towel, jam it down in there, get it as tight as you can in there, and that'll hold those nuts in to that recess in the factory bung. So get something down in there nice and tight like I did the shop rag before you pull these two bolts out. And also when you start pulling the bolts out, don't force down with your impact because you'll be forcing the nut out of the recess. So there we are, got the bolts out, nuts are held into the recess with the shop rag there, so you're safe, you're not going to lose them. So before we start the install, one thing I want to talk about is we have found on a lot of cars that the factory bolt, once it goes through a bracket, if you've ever added anything here, it's not long enough to engage into the nylock nut on the back side of that cage bung. So we sell a 10 millimeter longer bolt. You can see here, these are plenty long enough to go through the bracket and catch the nylock nut. It's a safety thing. We highly recommend you buy these. So take your first bolt, put your bracket up here. Again, gently, don't force those nuts out of the recess on the back side. Get your bolt started. Get your second bolt started. Not catching it for some reason. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna tighten these bolts up now. I pulled my rag out already because in the first section you've seen where I got them started. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these bolts up. I'm gonna get my bracket level while I'm doing it. There's a slight bit of play there. Bracket's tight, looks nice and level here. You do want to torque these bolts. We will put that torque specification in the video description so you have that, but these bolts do need to be torqued. That's important. Okay, so now that we have our combo bracket installed on the factory cage bung here, got it level with the car, I've tightened the bolts, I've torqued them to factory specs. Like I said, we're gonna drop that in the description of the video. I'm just gonna show you real quick what this bracket is all about. Here's a hole for your mirror, and this accommodates seismic. This happens to be SD lighting mirror that's going on the FAB house car here. That's gonna bolt up there. You can see we put a hole here in this bracket. I'm going to be running my wires through that hole just to help keep my wiring nice and clean. Run down in next to the dash there. Mirror will bolt up here. Nice and clean setup. And the reason it's called a combo bracket is it's made for a cube light as well as a mirror. So this happens to be rigid side shooters. You can see this side shooter light. That's what I prefer up here on the A-pillar. Gives you lots of light next to the car. That's going to bolt up right there, be very adjustable. Going to route your wire down here up under the dash, and you're going to end up with a nice A-pillar light and a nice mirror, lighted or not, doesn't matter, it's up to you, on one bracket here on the A-pillar. So there you go. There's the FAB combo bracket, mirror, light brackets install. Hope everybody has a great day. You can go check these out on our website, beesfabutv.com.